Hey guys, I wanted to make a video about what's been going on in my life up until now because I know I just came back on YouTube and it's really awesome being back and my life has changed dramatically in the last year. So let's talk about where things started. Okay, so in this year's 2017, so 2016, last April, I got a DUI, and I will make a separate video about what that experience was like because that definitely deserves its own video. I mean, people will go through that experience, and I think that mine can um, really give them an idea of what it's like in the process of dealing with that consequence. So, but I will say right now that going through that experience was the catalyst for like an entire life change. And I didn't even, I mean, I wanted my life to change from that experience, but I didn't anticipate for it to change the way it did. I knew I needed to make changes and I needed to adjust my behavior and I knew I never wanted it to happen again. So I had to I had to start being more proactive to make my life better. So what happened was, so the DUI was in April, and then it took me a little while to get started with the whole process because I was basically, I was paralyzed in fear and guilt and the depression set in for about 2 months. And after I went to court, the arraignment for that, I didn't touch the paperwork even for 2 months, which I don't recommend doing that at all. That was a mistake because then I had to go back before the judge to get reinstated in all of my community service, my fines. I had to get new fines. To get enrolled in the class because you have to sign up within a short amount of time, and all of that. So the judge basically threatened me, and I thank him for threatening me because it helped me take it seriously. Because what happened was he said, if I see you back in here again, if you don't get started, you're going to jail. And I was like, well, I was like making excuses. I was like, things have held me back. I was going through personal stuff. I was going through family stuff and work stuff. And then he goes, there's no excuse. Those things won't put you in jail. I will put you in jail. So I was like, oh my God, like shit got real. I knew that I couldn't afford to pay all of this money. I was scared. I had recently lost my job. I was just in a life upheaval. So that was April. Cut to May, June, July. I started the process of dealing with the DUI, and it took me a while, but I got a job at this pub in Santa Monica, which I thank God for getting that job because it was also another catalyst for change because that's when my life started transforming. I mean, when I was dealing with the DUI and I was getting my car legal again and I was, which actually the car being legal didn't come till way later. I mean, I was going to work and going to the classes and it sucked. The classes were for 9 months. So, I mean, I eventually got it started and I started at the pub and I tell you what, like it was so good. It got me, when I got the job there, the depression started to lift and things started getting better. I mean, I worked there through the new year, and there was some drama at about New Year's, which I won't get in. I don't think I need to get into what happened, but it was basically some harassment, and I was able to work through that, and that was also an uplifting experience because I felt like I wasn't going to I spoke up for myself and I was in a place that was allowing me to be heard and they didn't deny me. They listened to my needs and they what is the word? They took the right measures to like making me feel like I was cared after and they cared, So anyways, so moving on from that, we go to January, February, March. April is when he's no longer my boyfriend, but he came to visit me. A friend of mine came to visit me. There we go. A friend of mine came to visit me in April, and we fell like madly in love. And then I went from being happy and not depressed. For the first time in years, I was not depressed. I'm talking, I've been in therapy, I've been on antidepressants. I mean, I started losing weight when I started working at the pub because if you remember, I was extremely bloated. I was like, not bloated. I mean, I saw what other people saw, but I didn't feel super fat until I look back on it now. I mean, I did gain about 30 pounds. I wasn't unhealthy for my height. So, I started losing weight. I was walking around so much at this job. I was, trying to do better for myself. Being in the DUI class instilled a lot of good things in me. I was feeling like I had a purpose. I was doing something. I was forced to accomplish a goal. And that put me in a good headspace. That gave me something to do and to look forward to. And working at the pub, I was making good money, and it was fun. I liked all the people. I liked all the customers. I felt like I was growing as a server because it challenged me in different ways. So back to when Colton, what is his name? Many of you guys already probably know that. When he came to visit me, we've been friends for about 3 or 4 years, and when he came, we fell like so deeply for each other. And then I was on steroids, or I was on like not steroids. I was like a crack happy. I was like so happy. Oh my God, I was so happy. And he pursued me, and I felt like, if someone's going to pursue me this hard, like that's who I should be with. I mean, like, why say no to someone who wants to like be with you and they're good for you, and he's a beautiful person, and he's beautiful inside and out, and I've known him for a long time. I felt like I knew him, and so then we dated till May. He came as soon as he came to visit in April. He came to move here from Oregon, and a month. So by the end of May, by the end of May, he had moved here, and we had a perfect life set up. And then I think I'm trying to make sure I cover everything this year. Wow, I'm already going through really fast. It's been a really big year, and I'm explaining like some of the things that have happened to me, but I'm thinking, wow, now some of it sounds ridiculous that Colton only was here for a month and then he leaves. We seemed to have the perfect relationship to me and to him, is what he said. But he just was super duper homesick, and it was his first time leaving the nest. He's a bit younger than me. So I understood, but I was also really angry and upset. So, I lived with that upset state of mind and resentment and anger for about 2 months. And even that was until recently that I was able to let it all go. And just to set the record, we actually just broke up, like definitely ended it, like actually, and I hope that it sticks. This past week when I was in San Francisco, we were like, this is not working, and we both agreed, and we had a good run with each other, and I'm just sad that it couldn't work out because I wasn't willing to move to Portland and he wasn't willing to stay in Los Angeles. So, I mean, he's a lifer in Portland. Like, he never wants to leave, and it's his home. It's where his family is, and that's just where he belongs. And, I accept that. It wasn't my truth to move there at this time, even though Portland's one of the cities I would consider living in if and when I have to move out of LA. So, back to what happened when Colton left. Now, again, I went through a complete life upheaval. He left, and then everything in the universe ripped up everything in my life and planted new seeds. I mean, I'm happy I just didn't lose my shit before the seeds were planted, because the things that came were unexpected and amazing and great opportunities and just a completely different life for myself. I left the pub in Santa Monica. things just were not working there, and I left in a very traumatic way too, because what was going on was, again, not appropriate. And after the harassment and then what was going on towards the end, I was like, nope, not to me, not for me anymore. And then what else had happened during that time? Colton had left very, very and I mean, very happy. Excuse me. No, that's not right. He was very, very upset, and he was very upset with himself that he left. Eventually, he was happy that he left, but he tried to come back, and I wouldn't just let him come back. I was not willing to just have him back in my life under the same conditions that we were, and he was angry that I wouldn't take him back under those conditions. So then he tried to, literally, he came at me. I mean, he was like, if you're going to end this, then I'm going to give you a reason to end it. So he contacted my roommate and exaggerated all of these truths that had happened maybe in my last year or even my life. And he said them to be true, that he just exasperated everything. And he tried to ruin my relationship with my roommate and tried to get me kicked out. And so that was another big change. I'm like, oh my God, now I don't know where I'm going to live. I was like, what am I going to do? I trusted in my relationship with my roommate, but it was also still it was some pretty big accusations, So, and it was everything. It was like drugs, sex, things that I may have said or felt about my roommate, behavior, just like everything, things that I did to Colton. I mean, all exaggerations, and that's a little too personal. That's going a little too far. Anyhow, so what are we in? We're in July. At the end of July, I went to Palm Springs, which I find to be my spirit haven. I mean, that's where I go. I have a spiritual connection with Palm Springs. I always feel a little eerie on the drive there, but then once I get there, I feel connected there. I feel something there. And I was really disappointed that I actually didn't feel that connection like I did the first time I went to San Francisco. This new time I went to San Francisco, I didn't feel it anymore. But maybe it's because Palm Springs took that place, and that was also a number of years ago that I had felt that. I was not at all in the spiritual place that I am now. Now I am finding, because that trip to Palm Springs, I found a spiritual connection, and I've been able to really have some drive and motivation and some direction in life, and I'm very, very happy with it. I'm also very, very happy with my substance use, and I've got to the point where I'm just not using anything like the way that I would used to, and it's really debilitating for me, and I suffer spiritually and physically and emotionally when I do, more mentally even. And so it's been easy to cut out of my life, and I'll never say forever, but for now it doesn't serve me, and I'm very happy to say that. And to anyone who feels like they're really, really struggling, that you can message me, and I am happy to tell you. Every single video I pick my fucking nose. I'm happy to help you, not help you, that's not the right word. I'm willing to share my experience, and any way that you take that, then great. So yeah, that brings me to the end of July, into August and September. Here we are, and it's been 2 amazing months. I've got things happening with YouTube, deals, and I've been working with some writers, and I've got an idea for this show that I'm doing on here. And I mean, I like that. Look at that little muscle. I'm excited. So I mean, that's happening, and I'm working on Cody X Cache, and that's exciting. And I'm not working a regular job right now, which is also really nice that I've been able to do that. So, I mean, things are going great. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. I remember saying that in 2015, and then 2016 was a pretty difficult, challenging year, but a good year. And now I'm at a completely different place in life, and I'm so happy, and I'm so blessed, and I'm happy to share that with you guys. So, thanks for watching the video. This is my update from my yearly update about what's been happening in life from 2016 to 2017. And if you have any questions or comments, you can comment below. And I try to read everything and respond to everyone if they're like legitimate comments. So yeah, keep tuned. No, stay tuned, and I hope to have more material for you guys. Bye.